Hello there, my name is Lanius and today I'm gonna be talking about a Linux distribution. Yeah, nobody ever have made a video like this, but I'm not going to do, at least this time, a regular review when I use a distribution in a virtual machine, because I'm going to review a distribution I has been using for a while now. I don't really remember how long, but it was maybe a month even. It is quite non-standard approach, I guess, because it's Rolling Rhino remix. So basically, as you can see, it's Ubuntu made rolling. So it is based on a script made by Martin Wimpress. He's one of the developers of Ubuntu Mate and Mate Desktop, I guess. And it's really interesting. I was kind of surprised that it was a thing, and from the start I, of course, felt like I want to try it. So here we are. So what is special here? So the distro itself, it's basically Ubuntu, but it's tracking the development branch. But as you can see, they also did something, to the OS release, or whatever the file is named. In every Linux distribution has something like this, where you have the information what distribution it is actually. And the one thing is that they didn't really do really good job with it, because as you can see, pfetch and neofetch cannot recognize it as Ubuntu or as Debian based. In most of cases it doesn't really matter, but I had a issue where I actually had to modify a script for it to recognize that it's actually Ubuntu. It was deb-get. So it's a nice little tool, but it's okay, it doesn't have help, whatever, it's out of the scope of this video. Actually, the first thing you usually want to do after installing it is to run some custom script they have, Rhino update. What it does, if you do it first time, it installs Nala, which is a nice alternative to apt-get, which is way faster and also looks way better. It also updates. Okay, maybe nothing. Rhino config. As you can see, it has some options like disabling snap, which is, I guess, a quite popular thing. It disables snap and installs Flatpak. So, but it doesn't really tell you what the options are. Maybe if I run with help, still doesn't. So it's they could do a better job here, because what you can do here, and maybe there's something about it here. Yeah, so yeah, it allows to switch kernels, as you saw that there was an option to do that, but I haven't tried it. Also allows, as I said, replacing snap with flatpaks, and also enabling packstall. Packstall is basically, yes, kind of AUR like package manager, but it does have really little number of packages, but it's pretty easy to create like your own script to build a package from source, for example, and have a dep package for it. So you always have you're also keeping track of it actually. So it's quite useful, but it doesn't have a lot of packages. There is some other thing for Ubuntu, make dep mpr or whatever, but I didn't come around to using it actually. But anyway, so have this config where we could set all these things, but it doesn't do it immediately. So after changing anything here with this config command, which I guess could be more explicit, because from here we don't really know what we can disable or enable or whatever. Anything that says something is switch kernel. So maybe I can do subcommand help and stop bitching about it. Yeah, so it doesn't say what options we actually have, and if we really have like 2 or 3 options, there shouldn't be an issue to list that here. But it's not really a problem. So after changing all that, we run Rhino update, and I haven't updated in a moment, so I'm not sure if I want to run this, but why not? Let's go. How it works, as you can see, it clones the Rhino update script and asks me for my password. Clones the other scripts. Oh, kernel update. I hope nothing freaks up with OBS after that. And for some reason it does the kernel update separately, as you can see, because it's using apt, or it's directly downloading the kernel. So it's kind of weird, I would say. Yeah, it's downloading it directly. Okay, so now it tries to update packstall because I had it enabled. And now you can see Nala in action. So that's quite big update here. So I guess no NVIDIA update. That's scary. Anyway, okay, let's go. I will show you that it's pretty damn fast compared to app, but maybe not as fast as Pacman. Also, one nice thing with Nala is that it automatically removes unneeded dependencies. I mean, kind of nice, but sometimes you want to keep something. But I guess in most cases that's just what you would want to do anyway, so that's very good. And maybe running the update now wasn't that best idea, because it's taking a little while anyway. but I guess I will speed it up. Also, as you might see, I kind of fixed my camera because it was placed quite weirdly, and still I have kind of not really good time looking at the camera because my monitor is here, and when I want to look to camera, here, so it's kind of weird. But I guess it's much better than having the camera somewhere up there. So I'm using the NoiseTorch, an application which basically creates like a virtual microphone, and it's denoising the sound. I mean, it torches the noise, right? But I guess I had it not really had it configured not that well because it was basically cutting me off when I started kind of mumbling a little or something, and it was just cutting off what I was saying, which you probably might have heard already. I hope now it will be fixed, but I will know only after I'm finished. So. Okay, anyway, let the update run and let's continue with video. So, other nice thing that Rhino Remix actually has, it's this. The name of the script is a little confusing at first, or maybe not for... Okay, in English it's an installation, so not the installation. that was my first thought when I seen it, but it actually is DE installation. So let's see. So here you have this nice interface where you can basically choose a desktop environment to install. So you have basic default Ubuntu GNOME. You have GNOME Flashback, which is kind of, I guess, like GNOME 2. Vanilla GNOME, KDE Full, KDE Standard. I was expecting that there would be KDE like Ubuntu, but not there. Maybe it's the full one, or I don't know. But as you can see, all the environments have an option to install the Ubuntu version, Ubuntu flavor version of it, or just clean one. It's pretty nice. But I actually went out of the box with the just default GNOME desktop. But you can actually install just basic system. Because normally when you are installing Ubuntu, you have an option to install it. There is a minimal installation, but normally it means that you have just the desktop environment and browser and not really too much stuff. But in Rhino Remix, which might be confusing a little because the information in the installer is the same as in the default Ubuntu, so you might think that you will have this basic desktop, but actually you will have no desktop at all. So you are logging into TTY and, you know, Arch style. So then you can run this Rhino DE install, and you can install whatever desktop environment you want. So it's really nice actually. I haven't used it myself, but it seems very cool. But what are my thoughts in general about this distribution? So As you may already tell, it's not GNOME, but I used GNOME for a while, but decided I want to go back some, tiling action, so it's actually i3 with i3 bar, some Nord style, but it has still nothing to do with the distribution. So my thoughts: I might have already whined about Ubuntu being unstable, working not really well for me, which is kind of funny because right after making that video I hopped to Ubuntu, but weirdly enough, this version of Ubuntu, which is basically development branch, so this is where it should actually work worse, so where it could actually break and do some weird shit, it works perfectly stable, for me at least. Your mileage can vary, so, but in general it's very good distro, I must say. I'm not really convinced by this Rhino update script, because of course it gives you some options, but basically after setting your sources list in apt to devel branch, you basically can just do regular system updates or dist upgrade, and it will just work the same. I mean, it has some additional options like this removing of snap, which might be something some more power Ubuntu users may want. So I guess it's a nice option that it's there. Pack style is also quite nice, but I don't think that it's really that useful, because you could just run regular update, but I guess it also updates some other files like the tool itself, the de install tool and two other tools. And maybe a better option here would be to have your own little tiny repo with packages for this, so it wouldn't have to, just clone script every time. Also, if for some reason it backs out, then you basically have a repo cloned into your home directory, or to the directory where, to home always, I guess, your home directory. And if you try to run the script again, it would fail, because it would want to clone the repo again, because the script deletes the repo after it's finished. So I don't think that it's very clean solution, but it works and it's pretty nice. I have no problems with it. Only problem I actually had, which is maybe not really this Rhino remix specific, because I guess Ubuntu starts to act up if you start to customize it. At least I had this problem before with Focal Fossa, and the other one, it was 2110, I guess. But the actual problem is when I log out from i3, the GDM, the display manager, just doesn't go up again, so I have to go to TTY and restart it, and it works okay, but I guess it might be just GDM problem, because I guess it doesn't really like other desktop environments. Maybe it's some bug, but and I'm not really wanna go around fixing it, because I'm planning to hop. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, but why do I want to leave this distribution? So I think that it's quite a nice approach to have this rolling version of Ubuntu. I think that many Ubuntu users will appreciate having this option, I guess. But in my experience, I found myself, using quite a few different tools to basically have access to all the software I want. So I have regular repos, I have Flatpak, I have Nix package manager, I have some app images, I have Packstall, and I also am using depget to have everything kind of under control, to not have, like one-off packages that will never be updated because I just installed it and bye-bye, or some packages that install a repository and they don't remove it after uninstalling it, which depget does, which is nice. But I realized, okay, so I want this rolling release distro. I want all these programs. So maybe instead of having like 5 sources of software, I might just install Arch because I would just have regular repos and a UR, I guess. I mean, I have been making fun of Arch a little, and well, I guess so many bin packages in AUR are basically just dep packages, but with using Yay or some other AUR helper, you actually have it just in check. You see the packages, they have the source. They're not like one-off packages, and you will have to, or whether to add some PPAs, some repositories, then remember to maybe remove it if you remove the application. And it's just a hassle to have this few sources of software when I can have just basically one, or technically 2, maybe some Flatpaks. But with EA I actually use just one tool to actually install from repos and from AUR, and then just Flatpak, and it's actually way easier. So I guess the update has finished, so let's see. Okay, switch the screen. So yeah, it installed. Please reboot your system. Maybe I will. I guess it worked. Well, I think I've talked about everything I really wanted. So it's a very nice distribution. I said already what are my kind of problems with it. So software availability, even though Debian based distros have really good software availability. As I already said, most of AUR binary packages are just repackaged deb packages, but the only problem which kind of bothers me is that I can't have it all kind of, you know, unified in one tool. And yeah, and it's also, you know, just kind of unofficial spin, which is not really meant to be a rolling release, because quite soon the devil branch, which is kinetic kudu, will be freezed. So for a moment this rolling release wouldn't be rolling really, and after the kinetic kudu gets released, so 20 to 10 I guess, then the devil branch will be unfrozen, and I'm not really sure if some weird shit wouldn't happen then when some really unstable and really untested packages will be pulled in. So yeah, kind of wanted to wait to that moment to see what happens, but also I kind of just want to switch to something that would be more comfortable to me, I guess, which is weird because usually people are talking about Arch, that it's this, you know, expert distro. I mean, the only thing is that you have to just update it regularly and be ready to do some fixes. Other than that, it's as just I don't know what I'm saying. It's just as easy as Ubuntu. At least if you are comfortable with using terminal, I mean, because of course Ubuntu has many other graphical tools which you might use. Also, a part of me wanting to switch is that I switched to this the tiling window manager, which is quite minimal, and I stopped using GNOME, and I just don't really want to have this, you know, desktop environment that I'm not really using, and just have the basic, you know, setup. Actually, I already have tested it on my ThinkPad, and I really like the Endeavour OS. It has some good basic and default settings for i3. Of course, I will do my stuff as well there, because not all default choices are what I would want, but pretty solid base. So anyway, I'm going on a tangent again, so thank you for watching. Tell me if you maybe tried Ubuntu Rolling Rhino remix, or what do you think about this idea. Anyway, I just finished the video, okay, so thank you for watching. Leave a like, maybe subscribe, maybe leave a comment about what I said before. So thank you, and see you in the next one. Bye bye. Blah, 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 blah.